So a few years ago, I asked myself a question. So MainStage 3 is the most powerful keyboard software in the world. But could I create patches that had the same feel and stability of hardware using just MainStage? And could I make something that was as easy to use as like a Nord keyboard? You know, they're pretty awesome. So I went on a 7-year quest to solve two problems. So MainStage is consistently unstable when you put a lot of patches and a lot of individual plugins into a concert. And MainStage at the time didn't really have a good piano plugin. So I tried using some of the samples they had, just didn't really cut it for a pro level player. So we went to work. So the first step was building a rock solid concert in MainStage that pros would be comfortable with, would have absolutely no glitches, and was easy enough to use for beginners. And we crashed MainStage so many times. I mean, hundreds of times. So then we started building patches. We found thousands of ways to crash MainStage using just combinations of plugins. And the end result of all of that crashing and all of the testing was finding just the right combination of plugins that were stable enough together to never crash, super stable, and sound amazing. And we got all of these really high quality patches that don't crash. And then what we worked on really hard was making sure that they were easy to use, so you don't have a lot of setup with them. So we started testing it in the real world. We tested it at festivals. We tested it in really, really hot 100-degree heat. We tested it in icy December conditions where it was like minus 10, and then on stage it was about 40 degrees. And it held up great. So the next challenge that we were facing was we had to figure out a way to get a good piano sound. So we tried the original sounds inside MainStage for piano, and they just didn't really work. They weren't quite quality enough. So we set off on sampling our own grand piano. So we sampled an amazing grand piano in Nashville, Tennessee, which took so much time and effort. But then when we started testing it, it didn't work. And when I say it didn't work, what it did was it would bog down the CPU, and there was all kind of issues with instability. So we had to go back to the drawing board, and frankly, we didn't have a solution until MainStage 3.7.1 came out. So we loaded up the piano plugin, tested it, it ran seamlessly, and we rebuilt the entire MainStage concert around the piano plugin. I'm forgetting something. What is it? My step. So the end result was you got these incredible pro quality patches that completely run in MainStage with no extra samples at all. Now, if you're a keyboard player and you want to have a world-class rig, all you need is a Mac computer running Apple Silicon, $30 for MainStage, and Patch Foundry patches. So for the first time ever, it doesn't matter whether you're a pro or a beginner, you can walk on stage with MainStage running on a computer and trust that you're going to have world-class sounds. How do you like them apples? I mean, peaches.